So what I'm going to do today is, yeah, obviously these are like white boxes. Let's see if I can get them a little bit nicer. I can use this like existing tile set I have down here, um, and spawn those instead, and also use this plant spawning system so I can spawn like bushes and trees, maybe more plants in the future, um, on them. So the idea would be that they just can like sort of be their own self-contained entity, and the world doesn't really need to care about like how plants are spawned and animals are spawned or stuff. The world just spawns platforms, and then the platforms like take care of any stuff specific to themselves or like any way in which they would affect the world. So I guess first thing I want to do is just make a nicer platform, like a platform prefab. Um, so I guess I can either have it be on a tile map or have it be a sprite. It seems like a tile map has a chance of being more extensible. Like it might be useful to dynamically know that I'm like tile coordinates instead of having to like have an idea of that in the sprite. The sprite is definitely easier. It's like more standalone because I'm just gonna clear out these breakpoints. And debug logging, so my console is clean in case I want to log anything. But yeah, so I guess sprite or tile map is a question. I think sprite, at least to start with, seems better to me. Um, because if we're just setting tiles in the tile map, unless each thing has its own tile map, which seems counterintuitive to the point of tile maps. But yeah, so everything would have to share a tile map for the benefits of tile maps to be realized. Um, and then they're not like independent things. They're like how things happen to be set at particular coordinates in the group of things, and that's not really how I want to organize stuff. I'd rather they be discrete entities so I can, fine tune them by hand, make a bunch of them, make them interchangeable, like replaceable parts type deal. Um, so let's actually open up Paint just to make a nicer platform. Oops, I have Paint already open. Other stuff, which I can close out. This is all saved. Then we open up, I guess just the easiest thing would be to work on the tile map. Which I guess I want to just look in Unity to get my, it's not under sprites, so it's under tiles, tile atlases, I guess. Yeah, and then copy path, and then back over here. Oh, that's the Unity relative path, just show and explore, and then I can copy the path from Windows. Copy path. Cool. Um, all those is, yeah, you get out of here. Seeing Visual Studio. I want to make sure that's, doesn't seem like Paint is showing, unless this is frozen. Oh no, it's showing, cool. All right, undo that. Did I just do a paint bucket, I think? Undo. So we're gonna just like grab some tiles. I think these are 16 tall. That looks right. So this would be 5 wide. Although it looks like things are designed to kind of be 2 by 2. I can shrink it down if it's a problem. So you can probably just do paint tricks here. So we can copy this whole thing, make a new one, and then go to flip vertical. Now we have an upside down one. We could have just grabbed it from the tile map too, but I don't know. I think it is easier just do things procedurally. Then we copy in a thing, make space for it, drag it down. Cool. Now we have a platform. So put it under sprites. Make a new folder maybe. I guess one downside of this is, like as compared to the tile map, is it might be nice to be able to, oops, not untitled. It might be nice to be able to, draw these in the Unity tile map editor, but I'll say basic platform. Because I don't wanna be hopping over to paint to potentially make the different versions of the platform I might want. So maybe I'm backtracking and the tile map way actually is the way to go. At the very least, I can replace, well, first let's set the import settings just so it matches everything else. Looks like we're doing 16 pixels per unit. And since it's like pixel art, I turn off compression and stuff. Okay. And then we can go to our prefabs where somewhere we will have, yeah, this basic platform. And we can just give it at least a slightly nicer sprite. Ooh, I don't like that because it's stretched. So yeah, because it's already 5 to 1 or 5 to 2. So I think it just needs to be 1 to 1 and it's already got the correct size or like, whatever, an altered size. And then just the box glider needs to be fixed. And I'm not gonna drag it. I'll just type in the numbers that it should be, right? If it's 5 wide, 6, yeah, 5. 5 by 2, looks good. This might be too like big, like because it's too tall to jump around. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, it definitely feels a little bit more cluttered this way. Yeah, like especially right here. Also, I don't know. It seems kind of blurry. I don't know if it's being scaled somewhere. I thought I had fixed the import settings on the sprite. And I don't see. Oh, there it is. Point filtering. That's the other one. Yeah, because it's pixel art. I don't need any filtering. Cool. Yeah, now it looks the other stuff. Yeah, it looks better now, like crisper. But this is also showing that the offsets I set up last week were only for like a one tall platform, and now I'm not trapped. Man, I love double jump. It's so much more fun to jump around with double jump. All right, so let's cut the size of that. I guess I don't know if maybe I should just go straight to the tile map based solution. I wonder if it would be a good or a bad idea to just divorce the rendering from like the actual physical properties. So I could have it be that, yes, um I'm just setting tiles in a shared tile map for the platform's visual, but for like its actual properties, it's like just using an invisible box that's spawned on top of those tiles at like, world manager spawn time. Um, I mean, I don't know if even is if I have like some lazy destruction stuff where if you're far enough away from the platforms, they like die, and because like you could say the fall would be too great and you die anyway. Um, I don't know if it's necessarily a problem to spawn a bunch of tile maps. It seems dumb, but I don't know. It also seems like the most straightforward way to have customizable platforms in Unity instead of Paint. And, you know, spawning them in easily and like interchange having them be replaceable parts in like a spawning system. So maybe we're gonna need a new prefab, but maybe this platform is a good place to start. I guess the best place to start would just be this base platform because that's how that's working. These each are their own tile map, each are their own tile map render because they can like shake and stuff, so they have to be independent. Um, so let's just take our base platform here, make a prefab of it, then mess with it in the prefab editor. This does not look correct. Why are you one? Does this need to be like a child of something? Do I need to, can you only, what happens if I try and draw on this tile map? Yeah, something seems weird here. Okay. Can you not edit? Maybe this isn't, maybe it's moot. You can't actually do this. It might be that tiles are like a discrete entity and you can't put them in prefabs? I don't think that sounds right. I think I've done. I thought this was a thing, but maybe not. I guess a tile is a discrete entity and so is a prefab. Um, okay. Well, in that case, I feel like I am. Can I even like change this tile? Something seems off about this. Yeah, I don't know. It really seems like I can't do this, which is a bummer. Unless I'm forgetting something about how this is set up. Is there some... Oh, yes. Okay. The platform manager is a grid. Maybe I need to be on a grid. That would make sense. Let's see. Where's my prefab? If I put a grid on this parent, there we go. Oh, I can't believe I almost, based in my ignorance, didn't proceed with the preferable solution for me. Um, so I can get rid of most of this. Can I do a bigger brush? Yeah, whoops, too big. All right. And then I want this to have,
Hello? Test? Alright, I think I am back. I see green on the microphone thing. Yeah, I think I'm good. Alright. Yeah, that's annoying. This, I got the HyperX Cloud Wireless, and it has truly, truly, incredible battery life. Like it lasts for, literally months. Um, but, it doesn't update how much power it has left unless you plug it in. So I'm just like happily sitting there with my wireless headset for months, and you know, then suddenly one day it dies because I'm never plugging it in because it has such a huge battery life. Anyway, um, all right. So we're making prefab platforms. Um, oh, do I need to set my game output as well? Yeah, actually, I think it's fine. All right. So yeah, I just want this to have like a bottom. And this seems like this really does need to be two, just like the way this tile map is set up, it seems like it really needs to be 2 by 2 at least for the stuff to look correct. Unless, I don't know, unless I'm not, no, yeah, I mean, I could also, it's like a pretty straightforward style to mimic. So, I could probably draw it such that it looked better as 1 by 1. Maybe I'm not giving it. Yeah, I don't like how there's like half of the brown in there. Maybe. No, yeah, I definitely want it at least 2 by 2. It looks a lot better. I guess I can maybe spawn them in at. I wonder if spawning them in half, like half scale, would make them look worse uh when compared to like the base platform and like the other usage of the tile set. I don't know. Let's see. I'm gonna basically, let's just, we want to get our tile map based platform spawning in here. Um, so one thing I did want to check, can I like, show me this grid? I wish I knew if this were at 0, 0. Because I feel like it's gonna be annoying if this is like offset 3, 3 when I try and spawn it in. Um, I don't know. We'll see, I guess. I guess if the grid is independent, it doesn't matter. Like what we're really setting is the position of the parent grid. All right. So we got our prefab. So what, we save it, and then I think all I need to do is go back to my worlds. Or yeah, what does it just work if I switch this to platform 1? I'm gonna rename them after this. I promise. Is that platform 1? Yeah, it's got plant spawn boxes. Oh, but the game's not actually running, so I don't think anything will fire for them. Yeah, let's just see. Are plants also spawning on our subsequent platforms here? No, they're using. I'm pretty sure they're using like some absolute Y stuff. Or wait, they're being told to spawn by the world manager. So if I'm not telling these guys to spawn, then they won't. So I think I had already done a previous round of taking the sort of like responsibilities out of the world manager and localizing it to the plant spawn box. I think I want to oh whoops, I gotta copy this other. Do I? Just want to make sure I'm not breaking the audio. I just want to make sure this can hear. Yeah, okay, USB audio, it should be good. Yeah, it's still hearing. Actually, I want this over here. Okay, so let's review what the world is doing. It is spawn animal batch. We don't care about that. Spawn plant batch. So based on how long the game has been going on, it's like calculating batches. Yeah, I don't. And then like rolling it and calling it on something. On and plant, which I think is just like a different manager. Yeah, plant manager. Okay, so what's going to change here is we're going to go to our plant spawn box and just give this, like give it like a good old update timer type deal to just be responsible for its own spawning, and it can have its own spawning properties. So I guess I need to review what those properties are effectively on the world manager. So go over there, world manager. Yeah, so plant stuff. This is animal stuff. Let's separate this with new lines. Stop building. Plant stuff. Then that's wind stuff. So this is what we care about here, the plant stuff. I don't think it's that complicated. I just think it's a frequency. And then yeah, then I guess like the actual I was gonna think like, do I need to care about what types of plants I'm spawning? But that's already covered by spawn weights. I guess the plant manager like holds the prefabs. So we either need these guys to hold the prefabs, or we need these guys to be able to just like report something to the plant manager. I mean, is it getting? Yeah, it's getting past. All right. Maybe yeah, I mean, can I just have? Can these serialize? These can't be static, right? That would be too lazy of me. No way. Nah, will this let me have static serialized fields? If it does, then I can be like pretty lazy about it where, yeah, it looks like it. So I only have to, there will be one world manager, or if I accidentally have two, they will all have the same concept of these. Oh wait, I'm looking at the wrong thing. I don't know for sure yet. It's the spawn manager. Wait. Where is this plant manager? Oh, it is on the spawn manager, yeah. So I tried to make the tree. Yeah, it still lets me set the tree. And it's not a build error, is it? I think it just complain. Yeah, so I work progress stuff. then I accidentally hit a backslash there. I don't know what, oh, that I actually have to make it happen. So then base plant manager just becomes like a table of prefabs. It's nice. I only have to set it once. Oh no, yeah, you can't. Feels bad. I guess then I need, I mean, how bad is it for like, I think find game object by type is like pretty bad. I'm trying to think what the best way is to, maybe it is just to have the prefabs on the plant spawn box. Like, cause it says plant type and stuff, but do I even care about that? It just seems like it's passed through for, it seems like it's passed through for like the prefab it's picking. And this spawn weights here has a like basically a dependency on that plant type enum, where like the higher the weight is, the more likely it is to spawn flower or tree in this case. But that seems like it could get annoying if I have like, you know, aspirationally like 20 plants at some point. Is this really going to be like 18 zeros and then like a 3 and a 4? So if I only have as like the plants I actually care about spawning, then I can have like prefabs of plant spawn box. Like this could be like my tree spawner and then like variants and stuff. I don't know. Let's see how this works out. So basically, this plant spawn box would keep its weights, but it would also have an array of game objects that are just the prefabs. Let's call it plant prefabs. And on start though, I do want to assert. Do I have assert in here? Yeah. They should be the same length. I guess in that vein, I shouldn't default this to 1-1. That's not really a meaningful default value anymore. We want to assert that are equal, the amount of weights should be equal to the amount of prefabs. So that should be true. All right. That's probably gonna break all the exist. I think this, well, no, it's like a separate path. It won't break the existing stuff yet, but I'm gonna have to read out the existing stuff at some point. Let's, did you save? Oops, there. What did I do here? I also did something I didn't mean to do. There. I missed a semicolon somewhere. No, I didn't. It just isn't saved. Alright. Let's double check I didn't break anything here. I think maybe getting rid of the default values for spawn weights. Oh yeah, it's just asserting. Since I didn't set any of the game objects, it's asserting. I want to halt this like platform swap stuff while I'm testing. Because then I can just fix the first platform. And I don't have to like go through, because there are like 9, 10 platforms in there. I don't want to have to fix them all, especially when this is like some aspect of this is temp. This will need significant rework. Yeah, just don't do any of this. Yeah, okay. It's a no op now. And then we can, on our platform 1, we just have to fix the 2 plant spawn boxes here for plant prefabs to have an element of 2, and for it to be the same stuff. I think it was flower then tree, and this is under assets. Can I Copy these properties. Copy component. It should be 1, 0. I'll just remember that. Paste component values. 1, 0. Flowers only on this one. All right, let's see if that works. I don't think the stuff I commented out should affect. Oh, assert. You hate to see it. Oh, I fixed platform 1, not platform 0. How annoying. I still have those component values in my clipboard though, right? Yeah, that's fine. 50/50 flower tree if I'm only gonna have one. Alright, this is all that stuff still gonna run though. No, good. We're good. I think. Oh yeah, it's still asserting on the. Is that on the subsequent platforms or what? Wow, that's a lot of errors. All right, so this is saying mtree prefab hasn't been set in spawn plant. Oh, because I accidentally cleared it out when I made it static. How annoying. There. Although this should be. I thought this was in the dead path, but I guess it's not. There, I set the tree prefab. And then start the game. I guess I will expect assertions. Are these like all from, yeah, like, hold on, pause. Okay, this is from the prefab. We need to go fix the prefab, but actually we already, that's not set properly. Yeah, let's go fix the prefab. You don't look like the correct prefab. Oh, right, it's platform 1. I said I was going to change the names, I promise, and then I forgot. I hope this doesn't break the link. I think if you do it in the Unity UI, it's fine. Call this sprite or base platform basic sprite. Sort of like in order of importance. Okay, so now these plant spawn boxes. Do I still have these values? Yeah, great stuff, great stuff. I would expect no asserts or in disabled. Oh yeah, we got trees spawning. Oh no, they're spawning in the base. They're not spawning in that. Right. We didn't hook this up yet. We just wanted to make sure things like were cleaned up so they weren't asserting. We have a clean console and stuff. So what's next? Oh yeah, we want our platform, our plant spawn box here. So now that we know this, we have an array of prefabs, an array of like spawn weights. I think this, yeah, this get plant type needs to change though. We're not really getting a plant type anymore. It's just we're just getting an int. I think we might even do away with the plant type. Like I don't know if it's useful to have a code concept of plant type necessarily. When like information about like a plant is, you know, a composition of whatever is in the plant prefabs. That can be, that seems more flexible to me. All right, but there's some caller get plant type that's broken now because it returned something else. So find me that Visual Studio. Yeah, see. It's fine. Turn this into a no op too. So, cause now we're going to look to our plant spawn boxes to do the like have responsibility for their own spawning rather than being told to spawn. So yeah, we can just have a basic timer, right? That's our spawn frequency. Oh, I already did it. Now this is more generalized. I don't even know if it has to be like a plant spawn box. I don't see why I couldn't just drop animals in here as well. Because I have rats and chickens. Um, and I was planning on a future time reworking like rats to crawl up out of the floor and have that same sort of spawn box flexibility. Um, because then, you know, as I'm making my collection of platform prefabs, I can, you know, tweak them individually and say like, ah, make this one spawn spiders, this one spawn rats or whatever. And I could, you know, tweak the weights as appropriate to get a good amount of variation there. If I wanted to go infinite, I could even like roll random weights within a range. Um, but anyway, so we'll do our basic update timer stuff, which is in addition to our spawn frequency here, we need a spawn timer. It starts at 0. It's going to count up to spawn frequency. Is it not timed at delta time? Oh, capital time. And then if it's greater than its frequency, set it back to 0 and do a spawn, which will make a helper to do that. Which first will be getting the index. And I think I am going to rework this. So I'm just like, as I'm going through, just renaming it. Cool. So I guess I can't really do anything with this offset. What was this offset being used for? Get out of it. Okay, it's just like a hard-coded value per thing. So I guess I just want like an array of that. If I'm abandoning the concept of like plants being strongly typed or whatever, then yeah, I think I just need an array. I think there is a way for me to just put these nicely in a struct that could be like plant spawn data. I mean, like obviously I can do it in C sharp, but I don't know if I don't think just marking it as like serialized field is enough to like just make Unity service it correctly in the editor. I don't know. I'll try it later, but this is fine for now. Yeah, we'll just have an array of float spawn offsets. I can grab the values from the other script so it like looks correct. Let's do that now. It'll be 0, 0 on the base one. It needs to, so there's something, yeah, get rid of this work in progress so it'll compile, so it'll update the editor, and then I can set these values while I'm thinking about it. And also, assert this as well. See, this is the kind of like, I mean, I guess since I'm checking it anyway, it's fine. Like it can never work, but this is, now I'm gonna have to go fix another dumb thing to make this happy. Which is why like a struct would be nice. Like there's an assumption here that it's one thing anyway. Whatever. I can. That's the type of cleanup stuff I can do at a later time. Negative 3.4, negative 4.4. See, I don't know. This is the kind of thing though that will always be the same for all of them. So do I really need this at like a level of customization? Maybe I instead no. Yeah, that's just going back to world matter. This is fine. This is fine. If I just move these into a I don't know, do I really want to be effectively copy pasting this everywhere? I kind of do like the idea of having just like all the data in some kind of lookup table. But then the question is there a good place to store it? Like, I guess it's just like a singleton. That's, I don't know, I can search when I spawn. Or I could also, if I wanted to be like kind of pedantic about it, my singleton could just like search out the stuff when it spawns. Like, can't you find game objects by like a resource path or something? So just on awake, it could grab all the prefabs by some resource path. Seems like a possibility. I definitely don't like this. I hate this. I lay one part of me is like, get it working. Let's make then clean it up. But like, I already hate this so much that I just want to like implement it in a not stupid way. Um, yeah, I guess I don't know. I wish I could have a static property. Maybe there is a way. Let's see if I can find that function. It's like find game or resources. Load. Yes. I don't know. Let's just see if it'll let me do this. If I want to try and load prefabs, chicken. Do you have a extension? Prefab. So try and get this. Nope. Not happy with that. Let's step through it though. I don't know. Is there? Well, let me take a quick perusal at the internet. Is there a way to load by path? I want to load a prefab in the code by an asset path. Oh yeah, I think my path is just wrong. I bet Unity will give me the path I'm expecting when I complained about it being the relative path earlier. Ah, yeah, it's under assets. All right, let's give it another shot. So the idea is here, it was annoying to me that I couldn't have a, nope, still didn't work. Bummer. But yeah, the idea here is if I can just find all my stuff by name, I can set it up nicely as a prefab. And then like I like the idea of having the ability to just set it through a serialized field in the editor, but it looks like you can't do that for a static. Can't do that for a static. Yeah, this did not work. Maybe I can't cast it. If I try not to cast it, will it find it? Is it failing to cast, perhaps? Because I did. I'm seeing some people talk about. This is just to recompile while I was debugging. I'm seeing some people say I don't even need to like prepend it and stuff. No, didn't find it that way. What if I just try and find it as chicken? That's what I'm seeing some people say on the Unity Stack Overflow. Although it seems weird that you can only have one absolute path. No, yeah. Oh, now I'm also seeing. Yeah, just chicken, not chicken.prefab. I've seen people also say use the full relative path, but not the the extension. So that would be this. No. Oh, I'm seeing a different API be recommended. Asset database? I'm not. Oh, do I need? I'm seeing like Unity.prefab? No. I don't know if I need a different namespace. It's under Unity Engine, maybe? Can I just look around under this? Prefab. Player prefs, none of those. I'm also seeing asset database. Prefab utility. Does not seem to know this. Kind of that's the annoying thing about Unity docs. Oh, this is. I was about to complain about them not having versioning, but I am in a different version. Yeah, but it looks like this doc should also be in 2019, which is what I'm using. I don't know. I don't want to get hung up on this. I can just maybe grab an object by its tag. I really don't like that, but that's in terms of the usability, that's the number one thing I care about. Like, how is this going to scale into the longer term? If I want to add more things. I'm really seeing. Oh, maybe. Just gonna give this one more try. Assets prefabs chicken, but then also can I say game object as game object? Oh, I'm seeing apparently resources is like a special folder for runtime stuff. Let's try copying our chicken to this path. Instead of just assets prefabs chicken, copy him to assets resources prefabs. Did it go? No. I'll just grab anything. Line grower. Okay. So now I think I should be able to use the path. But it doesn't like this. Is this not one of your overloads? Oh, do I need to do type of? Is that cool? Seems like it's fine with that. Aha! Line grower. It worked. Great stuff. Okay. So we now want to make copies of our plant prefabs. Or can I just move them? Thinking like I don't want to mess up existing stuff, but I'm like I'm actively rewriting it now, so and mess it up for when. Can I just move this up the folder tree? Yeah, I think I have to use this side bit. So flower and tree. I want you to move into resources.prefabs. All right, now instead of line grower, let's double check we get the flower. Flower, great stuff. All right, so what our plant manager then is going to actually do is it will still have this enum concept, and then that will back in like an array of structs, and one of those objects in the struct will be game object, and it can just find it by name at awake. And then, so yeah, we have it can be static as well, so none of the plant boxes need to have a reference to the specific plant manager that exists within the scene. It's just all the plant managers will share, well, there's only going to be one anyway, but the one plant manager, the class of plant manager will have a single concept of this plant list. So trying to think, do I want to just, I probably don't want to make it public. I can make a getter public. So let's go back to see what the data is that we wanted for our struct. All right, weights, that needs to stay as a separate array. In fact, it'll be the only array, I guess. I wonder if I can have an object of enums as well. That seems like a good idea. All right, then we only have two. That doesn't seem so bad. Because only having one, which would be accounting for every single possible plant in every plant spawn box, and that's annoying. But if we have two, then we can say, okay, this first weight is for tree, the second weight is for flower, or swap it around. It can be different on every single one. But yeah, we no longer need this. We just need plant manager Okay, so we basically associate uh weights with types. The types can then go look up into our global static table where we'll load all the prefabs we care about at start, and then individual components don't need to care about like having the correct link to a prefab that maybe can annoyingly be broken. But spawn weights must equal spawned plants. Oh, length. Um, this might as well go back to being a plant type. Well, I'm just gonna say right get spawn index. Well, I'm always gonna wanna pair this with like indexing into my plant array, so we'll just do get plant type. And now we're back to being not general, back to being a plant. We're oscillating wildly, but hopefully ending up with the thing that we prefer. If anyone wondering about like assert is true false, it's supposed to find an answer before it gets here. If it gets down to here, that indicates something has gone wrong. But it's gonna complain if we don't return anything in that case. So we still gotta return something. Okay. So let's go back over here to our plant list. We need, at least at this point, we only have two things, but we can, deal with it as necessary. We'll just call this plant data. I think it needs to be public if I want to be able to get it. This has a plant type and a spawn offset, which I guess is a vector 2. I was thinking, like, it could just be a float if it's just Y, but who knows? Maybe I'll wanna, yeah, will just make it. It's simple enough to change that to a vector 2 one day if I want to be able to spawn at X offset, but I can only imagine spawning at a Y offset for now, so like I'm not gonna, why pass around a vector 2? That's not really what I'm using, and I can change it. All right, so that's our plant data, and then we need a private static plant data array. It's just not allowed. This? I mean, I know I have an example of this somewhere in World Manager. Hey, what's the syntax for this? Oh, I have to do it in like awake. Annoying. Okay, that's fine though. Just copy this. Debug input, eh? This is all under Unity Editor? Well, now... Yeah, I can't... I'm not 100% sure this debug input works. So, I'm going to comment it out. And I'll review it later and see the extent to which I still want it. And the unit editor defined there is just like making sure I only have debug controls in the editor rather than the published version of the game. But now I actually need my awake for stuff. So yeah, let's grab this. And we're gonna say, this shouldn't be M, it should be S. S plant. Sure you can't? Is that good? Yeah? Oh, it will let me. For static? Maybe it will let me. So just gonna say this has no container. Yeah, okay. You can't do this, I know it. Okay. KU. Damn. What keystrokes am I saving? This it? Not need this? Cool. Alright. New. Does need like a default constructor? Can I use like a member initialization list? Man, I make typos like I drink water. Just typos everywhere. Is that a valid syntax? Can I just do this? No, can I do this? Damn. Alright. I'll write the dang constructor. There. Are you happy? C# compiler, .NET. Oops, I still want those. I guess this also needs the game object in there. And that should probably be, I can make it the last thing. Can like go down to the next line. But my lazy constructor here will also have to go to the next line. We'll expand it. So, what was that syntax I was using earlier? This, right? Resources.load, double game object game code. So, I think that should be a correct syntax. So now, assuming this works, we don't have to fiddle with anything in the Unity editor. Things can't get out of sync. I don't have like, oh, this prefab hasn't set this thing. It finds the stuff, or it doesn't, right here once in this awake function. I guess I should, just like as a form of assertion, set this to null initially. And on awake, it should be null still. Just this is sort of like confirming the singleton assumption. Just I feel like things might break down if there were more than one of these touching the static list. So let's just assert that it's null before we make it, and then we make it. Great. It's the only one. So if another one comes along and tries to make it, it'll see it's not null and it'll assert. Okay. Next, we need a helper function, a public-facing helper function to access our private table. Yeah, public site plant data, get plant data, simple stuff. Plant type. Is this better as like a dictionary? Because then there's no. Right now, there's like the implicit. If I put these in a different order, it wouldn't be right anymore. If I put tree flower, that would break everything. Like flowers would be spawning where trees are supposed to spawn. So I think this is actually better as a dictionary. Can I do that? Of plant data, plant type, plant data. There. Now there's no chance for divergence. It's not that the enum maps to an int and maps to the index. It's that the enum is the key, gives you straight to the data. There's no middle layer that can potentially mess us up. And then here, I just need to do is this the you index a key? Yeah. But then we need a new dictionary instead. But this is no longer the correct way. What do I need? I need a I do it as like a pair. Maybe, I mean, I think I just make a new dictionary and then I can just add the values like line by line instead of single initializing it like this. So I can do like plant spawn data dot add at flower new plant data, and then I can just next line this. It'll look nice. Ooh, I don't know if it does look nice. Yeah, I need to be able to read it. I guess that's not that bad. Yeah, why not? Maybe I can do. I'm a big fan of things being readable. I think this is the way. I think that's the most readable way. I don't like that. Alright, but that's fine. Let's grab this same type of initialization. So, we fill up this dictionary with our type. I don't know if having type in the struct is strictly necessary anymore insofar as type is the key, but I feel like I can vaguely remember a time when having a key on the data value was useful. Like, I don't know, maybe I like would no longer have like a concept of the plant type that found the value. It's fine. It's what am I saving 4 bits for? Um, all right. So we fill up our plant spawn data list. Now we can go back to our plant spawn box. And this function using the spawn weight system from last week can get us a plant type. And then we have our spawn impl that'll actually do the work and takes a plant prefab and an offset. And we have encoded the prefab and the offset into our static table. So in theory, all we need to do is roll a plant type. And then get plant data. And then pass the plant data to spawn impl. I need to be public. Where's my struct? You got a problem? No. So now we can get our prefab. We can get our pd dot spawn offset y. Oh wait, this is expecting a vector 3. That's fine. Now we know where to slot in the X stuff if we ever do it. All right. It's a long time without hitting play and compiling, so hopefully I haven't broken tons of stuff. Best case scenario here. An item with the same key has already been added. Flower, flower. That sounds like it could be a copy paste there. Flower tree? No. We're getting 2 equal. Okay. First of all, oh, I see. We need to actually. These spawn values are not equal, are coming from the fact that we didn't actually put enums in our enum array. So we'll have to do that on the base prefab. Only once. But then, this, I don't like this. That's telling me it's already found flower. Oh, I see. Oh, yes. Yes, this first thing is the key. Just copy paste there. We're good. I saw this tree down here and I'm like, oh no, it's fine. But yeah, it's this one up here. Maybe I should. Is that clear? I think so. Okay. Then we also head over to our prefab, our platform prefab. These base plant spawn boxes too. This is like legacy stuff, but what can you do? See, this is nice. You set up your weights, you set up your plants, be good to go. See, this can have, if I was someday have 20 plants and I want to say this platform has a chance of spawning 3 of the 20, I don't need to have 1700, which would have been so annoying. So I think this is good forward-looking way to organize it. But we need to go set that on our prefab as well. In the non-resources prefab, that might get confusing down the line. It might be worth it to do a pass, not the sprite version, the tile map version. Okay. First of all, we should. Oh, okay. I can actually use these plant spawn boxes to align to 0, 0. Because I remember talking earlier about how I was concerned that if these were at an offset, a relative offset, it would make it annoying. So that's 0, 0 right there. So we can use that information to move our platform guy. It will be local to the grid, but like, and it did look like they were spawning fine, but I'm telling you that was a problem waiting to happen. Nothing good can come of being offset some random amount of units in a way that isn't like transparent to me. I would forget that it was offset because if I work on this in a week or 2 weeks, Am I gonna remember that like, oh yeah, that's at a weird offset? Probably not. But it looks good now. It's on 0, 0 for sure. And we'll just set up tree and flower and tree. Even though using a dictionary makes it so the order shouldn't matter, for some reason I want it to be lined up in order. I don't know. So we're in our game now. We spawned a guy. 2 equals 0. That is not correct. Although I thought, isn't this it? Oh wait, are these sprites I'm spawning, perhaps? Instead of the tile map version? And all the renamings? Maybe on the world manager. Yeah, platform basic tile map. No, we are having 2 equals 0. And plan spawn box 64. That is this. Spawn plant's length should be equal to them. Let's head back over here. Oh, it's... Yeah, I forgot the other one. Really, this is the whole... This doesn't... Can this just be one? I wonder if this will break it. I don't think so. But like, why have 0, 1? I was just like ranting about how the nice thing is I didn't have to have like these sparse vectors of random crap to mean I don't want anything here. Let's get this bigger. Does not seem like things are spawning to me. Because, and that makes sense because all we do is set the timer back to 0 here. We need to actually do something. So I guess it's just spawn. Right, spawn. Yeah, if I just call spawn, it first does the roll. This is just like a random roll. Then it gets the data based on that out of the dictionary. And then it calls spawn impl, which is like the true, actually spawning a prefab and setting its position and junk like that. All right. Plants. Oh, this does not look correct. I am, in fact, pretty confident this is not correct. Did anyone see my mistake? This isn't it. I guess I should pause and look at the scene. But it's good to know that even spawning like 10,000 trees accidentally somehow, oh, the spawn frequency is 0. It has no default value. So it was spawning a tree every single frame. Whoops. Okay, let's set it, I don't know, 3 seconds. I don't think it'll update though, because it would have already saved into the prefab as 0. Because I think what happens is if you change a default value or something like that, as soon as the component like saves onto the prefab, that value on the prefab is sort of like the prefab's value now. And if you change the default value, I don't think it will change anymore. Yeah, see, it's still 0. And we need to go back, do that on our base platform too, because it has a plant spawn box. All right. Let's see if we get a more reasonable amount of stuff. No, still a ton of stuff. This still seems incorrect. So where have we gone wrong? Let's again pause and take a closer look. Take a look at one of our prefabs here. Basic platform tile map. So what is this? So this is this set of, oh, interesting. That's, okay, it seems like there's a position issue. So part of the insane spam is the fact that they're all spawning in like the same range of positions, like the position isn't being made local. we can fix that, but it's still way too many, which doesn't make it. It seems like it should be fixed now with regards to the spawn frequency. Oh wait, did I only fix one of the two? Yes, that's exactly what happened. All right, so let's fix the first problem, make sure it's fixed, and then we can take a look at the spawn location problem. So just to reiterate, we start the game here. I expect, yeah, all the trees are going to spawn in this little area because their spawn platform. Oh, dang. I don't know if something like this might actually look cool for instead of the line drawer. I don't know. But yeah, so they're all spawning in the same-ish area. And that's the other spawn box, I guess, that only has a spawn frequency of 3. So that's like the actual correct rate you would expect trees to spawn. And this other one is the spawn box that still has a frequency of 0, so it's spawning every single frame. All right, so let's fix the first thing. So on prefabs, platform, basic tile map, from 0 to 3. This is 3. Good stuff. So now we still expect them to be in the wrong place, but the rate of spawning should be improved. Yeah, and that does seem to be the case. It looks like their size being cut in half is cutting the size in half of the trees and stuff. I don't know if that's actually what I want. But yeah, let's take a look at new plant equals make a plant prefab. All right, wait. Half scale for some reason. What am I doing with this? Oh, okay. So this is saying I'm getting the extent of the plant box, and then I can spawn in any local X position between my extents. And I'm getting my parent. I think this is the problem. Where no, the parent should be, yeah, like plant spawn boxes here. So I don't know. I guess maybe I should step through an individual spawn or something. This rotation stuff is related to the bottom platform that can sway. It's just making sure that like the angle of the stuff appears correctly. Potentially useful if I ever want these subsequent platforms to sway, but shouldn't be relevant here. I guess I think it might be not actually this. It might be this plant grow. No, I mean, it's still doing stuff in local positions, which is, I would expect local positions to be correct. All right, I'm gonna run the game again, see if I can pause on the first weird looking spawn and review the properties. All right, you, right there. Switch the scene view back to this. It thinks its position is just a little bit negative. If I made it 0, oh, this is, can you see? Isn't there a way to see this like better? Yeah, debug. Okay, so its local position is not, well, what's its parent? Its parent is these plant spawn boxes, and this. So, actually, it is kind of spawning where I would expect it to. Oh, I guess I think I have the spawn offset Y to too low. Oh, no, I see what it is. I see what it is. It's these extents. Actually, it's just spawning off to the side. It's only spawning in a weird place because I wanted to spawn inside the platform to like hide it as it's like, so it looks like it's rising up out of the platform. But since this size is being cut in half, this local scale is not inaccurate representation of the actual size of the spawn boxes. So they're spawning in a wider X area than they should be allowed to spawn in, which is what's making them offset from their platforms and stuff. At least this is one problem. So I think we just have to do transform.parent.scale. So yeah, you care about your local scale, but you also care about your parent scale. So if I scale down the parent platform, you also need to scale down this calculation of X positions where you're allowed to spawn. So let's see if that fixes some of our problems. I still think I was seeing stuff spawn way below where it should, so yeah, still these X positions are not correct. Still, unfortunately. So let's take a look at this bad boy. Who are you? Who's your parent? Your parent is this. See this guy way up here. So not only is this off from an X perspective, it is also off on a Y perspective. I don't know if it's just spawning too low in the ground. Like, does that end up looking? No, yeah. And the plant row parameters and stuff are wrong too. So I don't know. Is this the problem? Oh wait. No. I guess I just want to step through this. So hopefully this will break on the first spawn, and hopefully it'll be a weird spot. I hope it doesn't happen to roll to like a great spot that's not displaying the issue. Getting squished. All right. 7.5. So it decides it's allowed to spawn at negative 2.9. Is this already making it in local space? Maybe I was incorrectly assuming it was local space just because it was always happened to be like centered around 0. And that was like hiding up an error here. Because I think 15, is that correct? Hold on. Pause the game. All right, do you think you're 15 wide? No. I think it's half wide. Oh wait, this? Even this only thinks it's 6. Where is this 15 coming from? Wait. What object? Oh, it's the base platform. All right. Can I somehow make the blade? Yeah, you know what I can do? Oh, I don't know if I can have no plant spawn boxes. It might assume. What if I just disable the script? What happens? Does that fix it? Okay. So let's take a look at some of our like children parent pairs. So here we have something spawning significantly off from a Y perspective. Oh, it's not. It's. I see. It's making its parent the plant spawn box parent rather than the plant spawn box itself. I actually think what I truly want here this scaling still needs to happen. But instead of, we want it to be the child of the thing spawning it. I think this is a, right? Or not transform. I think this is what I want. Let's see. Because this extents definitely, like the extents calculation doesn't make sense if the parent is not the box. That definitely isn't right. I don't even understand how that happened. Oh, I guess they're, with them being squished, they're getting the, yeah, with them being squished, they're getting, you know what? I think I could, these problems are fixable, but I think a better way to go about organizing this is what if I have like, oh yeah, definitely not the spawn boxes alone. That could have been a problem. I think things are like in place. Yes. Yeah, things are set up in ways I don't yeah. This is like way more than I would ever need. Just add nice numbers though, and then give 1.5 and I don't know. 0.75 work? Yeah. And do similar here. What were you at XYs? Let me see this sprite. It might have just been these box locations being wrong. Or at least it's complicating the issue. Yeah, local scale of 12, why? Local scale should be just 1 unless there's a good reason. Yeah, I think some of these scales got a bit messed up in like the parenting process. Like in just of making this, copying this into a prefab and having it on its own grid instead of how it was previously set up. So actually these probably need to be a little bit wider. 2, 3, that's fine, whatever. So these are back to being full size. It's not trying to do any scaling. Oh yes, oh wait, here's the scaling in plant spawn. Oh wait, well that scaling doesn't matter. Oh, so then we do want parent transform again here. Because if it's just I don't know, this scaling might need to be fixed, but let's see if making these numbers more sane and not having like layers of scaling fix our expectation here. Let's think about what I expect to happen. It's seem this actually seems like it might be correct-ish, except the plant grow script. Actually, no, this just seems like it's not being in local scale. Right, I bet if I look in the scene view. Yeah, they're in this like narrow range no matter what. Maybe I don't need to modulate by my parent scale. So this is still getting the scale of the spawn box itself. Pixel location in that. Do I need my parents' parent? Does that make a diff? Maybe that puts it as a child directly of the platform rather than a child of the plant spawn box, which technically lives at 0, 0, but it should live at 0, 0 in child coordinates of the whatever the platforms. All right, here, this one off to the left is perfect. Yeah, let's pause our game and take a look at the scene properties of our guy on the left here. Ooh, whatever I did, stop doing that. I have the paint bucket or tile maps on. All right, you here. Yeah. All right. It looks, if I just continue this, so it looks like the plant grow is off. That's what's causing things to like fly, because there's an assumption either where it's spawning or in plant grow or something that um its location is going to be like basically on the floor. That location, that assumption is somewhere. See, where is this 3 coming from? All right, the range here, I guess that 3, that could be a valid spawn location, but it couldn't be for this tree. Can I get the tree, please? Game. 7. Yeah, it should never be able to spawn this 7. I think, does this just need to be, it is already being added to the local position. How is this getting to 7? Let me step through this again and get an idea of what the numbers are looking like. Come on, game. All right. Get a spawn? Cool. So spawn X is -2. That seems like it could be a valid value. A local position of what? This is the plant spawn box. Does this just need to be position? Because the local position of the spawn box is relative to, well, no, that's fine. We're leaving the X in local coordinates. Seems like it can be fine. But I think previously this was, like, what's happening here? Is this parenting does instantiate here parent before or after? I feel like my logic here is as if it parents, or as if it does this after. What if, but what if it's actually before? And we can test that. Oops. I think we can test that by just saying at no offset, and then after you spawn, after I know you have a parent, which I think should just be this, I'll just explicitly set your local position. Is this what I want? Or is this doing the same thing? Is this will at least, this will at least tell me, wait, it's not this, right? Yeah, I was imagine if I put the Y in for X or something. But this will tell me if it's just a wrong assumption about, you know, if it's a wrong assumption about when that offset is being applied. Those, no. Yeah, I don't think so. Initially for like these, I'm like, those X locations look pretty good. But as we ascend up here, it still just seems like I don't know. I'm gonna need to pause and review these here. Give me 1 second though. I'm gonna run to pee real quick. We'll be back 1 minute. Alright, I'm back. So, I think I wanna look at, first of all I wanna get off the tile palette. Why? I don't want you to, oh I see, because they're all tile maps. It thinks I constantly want to edit a tile map. Oh, I think that's it. They're all, no. That should be fine. The fact that they're all centered on 0, 0, just the grid is what has position, and the grid is the parent. So I think maybe the local position. Yeah, so the local position of the plant spawn box, which is this transform. Oh wait, no. So this is the local position with respect to the plant spawn box parent. But I don't think this local position. Yeah, it definitely doesn't, because there's a parent in between. It will not like represent the like the position of the. I think this just needs to go parent, and then apply the X after. Right? I don't know, it'll tell me in a second. Stuff way over there looks promising. Yeah, this looks very promising. We have stuff spawning all over the grid, but since it's still spawning at dumb Y locations, we do need to go through and actually verify that the plants are actually spawning in a location that makes sense for their parent platform, and it does look like that is the case. See, like I have this third platform selected, and we got this guy, and this guy. This guy, it looks wrong, but it's not actually included. It's part of this next one, which in lieu of that, is actually in the correct X position. Same deal here. So I think the X position is actually fixed. We do need to fix the Y position though. So what? Maybe I just need to like get a new is equal to the offset plus, or maybe we're still doing a local position offset at the end. Let's just set, I guess, first question, if I go back to, I'm still using parent, and that looks to seem to give me the right stuff. But I can check real quick if I just spawn X here instead of explicitly setting my local position after parenting, does that still work? You know, that error might have been hidden by not doing the parent thing. Let's see if that breaks our stuff or if that is still good. Come on, plants. I think it's, yeah, that's broken. So that must be doing 3 local positions, and it was only working before because I was making like the assumption that we're always going to be centered around 0, 0. So we actually don't want this. We want to keep this, but we do want the pre-parent position of, we want to start at the Y, I think. Maybe I should call this grandparent, but I guess it's, yeah, whatever. It's not the parent of the script, it's the new parent of the tree. Yeah, no, I don't think so. Stuff is spawning. Actually, maybe its spawn Y is just too low. I think this plant grow now, This is just the little script that's making the when after a thing spawns, it just moves up a little bit, stays for a second, then goes back down. I think this needs to have a concept of scale so I can hide it better. I don't think like the trees will necessarily fit in the platforms, and I don't want to have to like force the platforms to have to be able to hide whatever plants I might make. So I think we need to modify this plant grow script to, in addition to like scaling up local position, also scale up Y scale. Just from 0 to 1 should be fine. So that's just transform.local scale is equal to whatever it was before. We keep this. We multiply the y by t, which is just like the interpolation value, which means how close we are to going up. And then z we keep. Z does not matter, but we still set it. And then we copy this, because we're going to need to do the exact same thing here. And it looks like the t is already inverted, so it's exactly the same. We don't have to invert the t. It's inverted in the calculation, basically. Okay, so now, in theory, that should have our plants like stretch upwards as they grow, and rather than just being sort of like hidden in the ground, they should actually start from nothing. Ooh, oh, I just right-clicked. Got trapped. Something about that is wrong. Let's take a look at what's going wrong with our plants. Do you have a weird scale? 0. Maybe if you were all the way up. Oops. Yeah, it does need to be inverted. And that means it also needs to be inverted here. Okay. Let's see how that looks. No, I don't think that's right either. I think it's not actually the same. Inverted here, not inverted here, right? Let's see. So up duration minus timer, that means as the timer progresses, we get closer to 1. So that's what we want, right? Or is the timer going up or down? Timer's going down. Okay. So T will have, it's going from 1 to 0. So yes, inversion is correct. But here, again, it's going from 1 to 0. But we want it to shrink. So going from 1 to 0 means no inversion. Right? I think. No. They're doing the opposite of what I want them to do. Do I not understand this? So when it's all the way up, timer will be 0 or near 0. Oh wait, and then it's up duration over up duration, so it'll be 1. Okay, not inverted. And then here, timer will be 0, down, over, down. This does, all right, I got it backwards. How does this look? No, they're just like flicking in and out of existence. Let's see what numbers are popping out. All right, T is 0.99 because my timer is basically 0, so I'm almost done. So this should be growing. So yeah, 0.99. Uh, hmm. It's this. I need, because like once it's 0, it's 0 forever. That's the problem. And also, I don't actually want like the incremental value. I want, so I want just basically the original y scale times t. But I want to see if I can just assume that to be 1. Let's check our tree prefab. Is our tree prefab like, is it, I know because it's like tall, right? Is it 2, 1? No, it's 1, 1. So things are already just the scale they are. That's great. That means we can just use our interpolation constant as our scale. You good? Happy, Unity? All right, let's get some platforms spawning in. Platforms. That is the idea, but I'm still seeing sometimes like things flicker, which I do not like. Oh, I think you know what that is? I should actually spawn them in at 0 scale. Why? Because this is how it is currently, because they spawn in, they have a 1 single frame of being full scale, and then the interpolation from their plant growth script kicks in, knocks them down to probably like 0.1 or 0, and then so then that's what's the flickery stuff. It's spawning at scale equals 1 um, for a brief second before its scale is adjusted. So we just want to 0 out the Y scale as we spawn. Because it will, we want them, this is how we're hiding it now instead of hiding it behind the platform and rising it up. We're going to have it start at nothing and grow in addition to rising up. Yeah, I think it looks weird because you can see it happening, but I think it will help like sort of get the previous setup of hiding it. I think if I fix this, like these grow, I don't know, to get an idea if this looks fine or not, I need to fix like this X location or this Y location thing where I can see them spawning and stuff. So let's go to our prefab and not that one. Not our resources, are just normal prefabs that we aren't dynamically spawning in. Or that we are, but we have like a exact link to. Grab our this. And then if I grab a tree, which is in the resources prefabs, this, well, now I also have to parent it, I guess. parent. Cool. So what is 0? Okay, it would be the center. So I think the significant the significant y offset is no longer necessary. So let's try significant. I think I still want some aspect of it to like help the growing upward like fake animation, but it should be like significantly reduced. Let's say 0.2, 0.1, and then delete this like testing chunk I added in here. So yeah, I guess the reason it was spawning way below is just because it's kind of in a different. It was assuming a common Y position that is no longer true. Not bad. I think they have to go to a different, like a higher Y. But in general, like I think that looks pretty good. Where our stuff is spawning. I'm a little suspicious I see no flowers. I don't like that. But the spawn locations and the the spawn locations look pretty fixed. I think it needs to be down a little bit more because I saw the top popping out a bit there. But let's go to our prefab and double check our plant spawn boxes. Make sure they represent our intentions. So these are the resource prefabs. Maybe I should, I wonder if there's a cost to putting things in resources. If there's not, maybe I should just put everything in resources so it's easier to find. Okay, we got a flower, we got a tree, got a spawn frequency. Where, I guess the growing, like the visuals of that are on the flower and the tree themselves. Let's see. It's possible the reason we never saw a tree is because let's see. Make this faster, make this longer, make this faster. It's possible it was always just hidden that the offset is wrong and the target Y is wrong that we're setting here. Let's see if the target Y looks fixed for trees. No, it needs to be a little bit higher. Let's make sure it's actually being set to what we expect though. And there's not a bug, and it's just a matter of tweaking. Yeah, this is at 1.49. Let's just see what looks good. We want it to go all the way to 2.2, I think. Yeah. So let's switch that up. Target Y is 2.2. Come on, trees. With the sort of this below, let me just go to the platform. These platforms are twice the size, and it's too cramped. There's probably needs to be some system in the future that has like an idea of the space and how much stuff it's spawning into it. But for now, just give me more space between platforms. This sway stuff doesn't count. There's like we have a different platform spawner here. Height increase, just 5. How about? And let's also increase the start height and give them a bit more freedom to spawn in X's. This min distance needs to be higher. That's where they're too close. And I think this max distance can also be higher since we have double jump now. All right, that's we're not fixing anything, and even those values are still temp, but it'll just make it easier to test, get a better idea of like visualizing what's right, if things are going wrong, what's going wrong. Yeah, this looks good for the most part. I mean, like, I don't know if I want to. It's possible I can potentially use a different I don't know what the word is. Oh, interpolation, I guess. Different interpolation for these trees than lerp. Because I think there is a little bit of weirdness where you're still seeing scaling towards the top of their like ascent. Um, like see, it looks weird for just a second. But if it could be, I think like elerp there is, and there's I know spherical lerp I remember hearing about. Um, but that's not the point. The point is, uh, just like some, it could even just be like a weighted lerp potentially, where I think more of the scaling should happen right away. Maybe I can just hack that in really quick. Oh, it'd be in plank row. So it's setting this like scale. Instead of T, let's see, if we want it to happen quicker, let's say apply weighting to T. Or apply interpolation weighting. So you can just say, hey, if the input T is less than half, it actually should represent 2/3. Is that enough? Let's do the first quarter instead. We'll say the first quarter can map to the first half. Um, so how are we going to do that? We have a range here of 0 to a quarter, and we want to map it to 0 to a half. Simple stuff. We're just multiplying by 2. The other case might be a little bit more annoying, where we have a range from a quarter to 1, and we want to map that to a half to 1. So this is basically, this is 0.75 units, so we can do T adjusted equals T over 0.75. So now we have like a T for our range, our little range here. And then, so that will be between 0 and 1. And then we want 0, I think it's just cut that in half and multiply it by 2, right? Because this gives us T in this. Well, actually, it needs to be minus 0.5. 0.25, right? Because that, so say it's 0.25, it'll go to 0, 0.0 over 0.75 gives us 0. So that's the 0 of the smaller t range. If it's at 1, it'll get subtracted down to 0.75. That's 1. That's t adjusted. That's what we want. So that gets us t in 0.25 to 1. And then we get t. And then this would, so now we have 0 to 1 that we want to go to 0 to 0.5. So we cut it in half, and then we just add half. Okay, so that's instead of just doing a constant amount over the whole time, it'll go twice as fast at the beginning, and then it'll slow down to half speed for the remainder, like relative half speed of the previous established, and that's only the beginning quarter. So we just need to call our functions like weighted interpolation or something, apply something, apply interpolation weighting, and we also do it here. Yeah, I think that's fine. Is it? I want it to be the end for the other way. So I think I want it to go more. This is correct for this is correct for going up and not going down. Do I Can I just what if I just pass? Can I just do this? And there'll still be more at the beginning, but then if I subtract this from 1, no, I don't think that gives me the correct start location and stuff, but I don't know. I just want to make sure this works. I'll come back and fix the other direction if I don't like how it looks. And I have a feeling I won't. Because what I didn't like that I wanted to fix here was like the scaling being too observable by portions of its scaling happening in I do think that isn't that portions of I might even have to go more extreme than this. Cause I feel like I'm still seeing it, what I didn't like. Is this even happening? Did I like somehow create a no op here? How could that be? No. I think this is fine. This does do what the comments describe. I don't know. I don't actually want to get hung up on it. It pretty much works. Let's figure out the broken thing, which is flowers not spawning. It's only trees. So let's figure that out. And then, I don't think it's compelling watching me like guess and test tweaking numbers, trying to get like scaling and stuff to look just right. So I'm gonna jump around, let the game run a little bit, and just so I can like give plenty of time for stuff to spawn to completely rule out the possibility that we're just getting incredibly unlucky. I mean, it seems like obviously that's not the case, given like through multiple runs here, we've seen only trees. All right, but there's enough trees now. I just want to, aha, flower, where are you? See, it thinks it's spawning some flowers, but I'm not seeing them. Can I like focus on this element? Where are you? Okay, what if this flower should be coming up. Man, I wish I could step through like 5 frames instead of 1. So I could let the game play. And then it hits local scale 1. It's about to. So it's about to hit its apex. Yeah, so I think this is just a matter of these scale offsets being wrong, the target Y being wrong. So we see the local position is at 0.6. What it really needs to be is 1.4. So let's see if those values are reflected in the prefab. And if they are, yeah. Oh, well, no, that's, yeah, 0.6. There it is. Great stuff. Let's also follow the same pattern of making this go up and down more quickly. But it did seem strange that it was such a disproportionate amount of trees. Let's double check on our plant spawn box that the spawn weights are what we expect. 1-to-1, 50-50, and then trees only. Let's do 2-to-1. So, or even 3-to-1. So, one of them will be trees only, but the other one is 75% chance of flower. Let's see if we get flowers to spawn. Yep. Cool stuff. I guess I have an awkward amount of time left here. I can probably go for like 30, 45 more minutes. But this does feel like a good, like we now have sort of the stated goal was have fancier platforms. We do now have platform prefabs. I guess a good next step here would be having two different types of platform prefabs and spawning between them. It doesn't need to like be tied to height at this point. Let's just implement the most basic version of that. So we can leave our platform basic tile map as it is, but we're gonna copy it. Is there a duplicate? Isn't it Control D? Yeah. Platform basic tile map 2, I guess. It really is just a variation. Like normally I'd be like, that's a terrible name, but that's what it is. You know, maybe at a future time I want to be like, oh, only basic flowers spawner. I don't know, something like that. Some like hierarchy, or some like more descriptive name. I am just gonna give this like the slightest tweak, so I can, you know, we know at a quick glance that it is correct or incorrect. And let's just do one plant spawn box, flowers only. It'll go over the hump. You know, and I'm making a new thing. I'm varying all the parameters. This is a good like holistic test, I think. So 3.5, and also move it a little bit, something like that. And then I want this only to spawn flowers. And then it can probably spawn more quickly. I don't know, which vary all the properties. So we have a different platform. Now we need to go to our spawn manager script. Platform spawner here. And this is having a list of platform prefabs. I think that's fine at this point, since like there is an instantiated platform spawner in the world and nothing else needs to care about it. But I am wondering if this could also benefit from the nice pattern for the plant list, where there is kind of like a, you know, like a single source of truth, not in the scene. It doesn't matter what game objects say, just in code, like definition of what all the possible platforms are. That might be something to look into at a later date as we sort of expand out this platform customization. But I think for now, just having an array of platforms and picking one randomly, which I think, can I just do random range 0 to platform, what is it? Platform prefab array. Dot length. And this is where you could incorporate some like concept of difficulty. If there were, you know, when we have more sort of variations in our platform, more variations in like the plants and enemies that can spawn and stuff, you know, it's probably will be the case that certain things are spawning more challenging things. I think that's just like the natural progression of the game. But anyway, we index into our array with our index. And now I shouldn't have to touch anything because it should just be actually changing its type. It might have wiped it out. Let's see. I was going to say it should just have an array of 1 and it should still work. It shouldn't need me to care that like it's not like an array of 1 can just be handled like an array of 2. But I don't need the debug information anymore. Let's go back to a normal view. And then, so we're looking for probably on the world manager, platform spawner, yeah, platform prefab array, size of 2. I'm gonna grab our platform basic tile maps. And we should hopefully see a variation now. Hey, yeah, there's our variation right there. Oh no, I got squished. I'm doomed. I should fix that initial spawn position. I think at least for the first one, you can just check where the player is. You know what I don't like? I don't like if I were just like jumping along. I imagine the spawning should probably be fairly outpaced of the player. Like if I see it, it's already like all the way up there. But I don't like that as I'm spawning in, like as these guys are spawning in, if I were to just like hop on them as they're appearing, like nothing would spawn. Nothing has time to spawn. Oh, that might be too tall. Oh, a tree. That's all I need. Should have wider trees so I can hop on them better. I like that. But yeah, see, after the first sort of round of it where I got stuck for a second, it's fine. Like this is what I would want. Probably a greater variety of plants too. Doing different stuff. We have stuff popping out of these platforms, stuff like that. I'm not gonna make it. Yeah, this might be too far. It's too hard of a jump. I think I would need a tree. Made it. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, we're getting the variation spawning good. That's cool. Oh yeah, I didn't like how there were no plants as these platforms were spawning in and I'm using them. So I think I'm gonna set the timer such that this is the wrong thing. On plant spawn box, I think like the very first thing you do. Yeah, see it's counting up. So let's just start it where it needs to start. So we'll get a spawn initially. We'll have, because the thing is, if it takes a delay for something to spawn, and then it also takes a delay for something to grow out of the ground, like it's a pretty good chance you'll have passed it by the time, you know, it's done its stuff. Which is dumb. It should do its stuff soon before you're done with it. So on start, we'll set our spawn timer to our spawn frequency. And that'll give us an immediate spawn. It won't need to wait for the timer to tick up to be beyond that frequency. It's beyond the frequency right away. Yeah, see, it's stuff gets going a bit quicker. Like as I'm catching up to this stuff. Although I am only seeing one platform type. Did I break something? I think I did. Oh no, there's the other one. Just got incredibly unlucky there. Cool stuff. Let's also, I think it might be nice. Eventually, I want to do this with a shader graph. I would love for the sort of line aspect of this to just like draw itself over time to draw these platforms. I think that'll look really cool. But I don't know if I have the time to do that now. I can maybe get started on it, and then like if I have to stop at a time, that's fine. So I think I can at least do the simple version of that. There's two versions of that here I can show in Paint. So we got like our lines, right? I want a paintbrush. That's too small. These are our lines, our like twisty lines, right? And it generally moves in one direction. And I think you can, a simple version of it is just to have this like T from 0 to 1, right? So that this it just draws from left to right basically. It like swipes in, scans itself in. It won't be perfect. Like it'll look weird on these parallel lines that won't have the sort of vibe of the lines advancing. But for the horizontal lines, it absolutely will have that vibe for like basically no work. The more complicated version of this would be to like encode the information in the line and have it on like a map. So, whoops, I grabbed the wrong thing. I want to grab the other thing. So the other way to do it would be you still have a concept of T, right? That is going from 0 to 1. But instead of T just being like a X position, it's like reflective of time. So you would basically have a map drawn like this where you could encode that T information into the line and then read that in like a shader graph or whatever. So that might look something like, how many grays do I have here? It's gonna be hard to prove to show it, and like ultimately it's might need to be like created with a script. But you can see like, so black is 0, right, and white is 1. So it just needs to sort of in color ascend the T over time, right? So it gets lighter and lighter, and then I mean it's a white background, so it doesn't work. But all right, let's go to the standard magenta. Deselect. But yeah, this is the idea. You would have like a nice gradual sort of increasing color in this line that a shader graph could then read and then use that color as a decider whether or not to draw this portion of the thing. But I'm going to see, with my limited time for the rest of the night, I'm going to see if I can quickly implement the simpler, just like horizontal swipe version of it. I haven't used shader graph stuff in a while, but I think it is relatively straightforward. Oh, I might need to import a thing that I don't have imported right now. Yeah, I think I need like the render pipeline. Come on, package manager. Oh no, my Unity is non-responsive. I hope it doesn't crash. All right, we're good. For some reason, opening up the package manager is a problem. Let's add shader graph to our project. Technically, I know how to write shaders, but it's been a very long time since I need to. Most of my, if I ever write a shader for like work stuff, it's just like all the shader does is the one specific thing I'm looking to test. All right, it's importing the assets and stuff for, I guess, the shader graph. I hope this doesn't mess up my rendering. It would be annoying. I mean, like, I don't have anything. It's just straight unlit pixel art. I don't understand. I don't think there should really be a significant problem with changing the rendering backend here. At least that's the idea of things like Unity, is it should take care of it for me, right? There might be some follow-up cleanup to do though. Hopefully not. We'll see. It's almost at the end of its import here. Oh, you're killing me. You're killing me, Unity importer. Is there like an error it's willing to throw? No. Just really needs to import that last logging.cs. It's just massive, massive file. Oh, we're in iteration 2. Now it's getting, okay, UI assets and stuff, arrows, hovering. I wonder if there's anything I can clean up in the code while it's doing this. Didn't I like comment out a bunch of stuff earlier? Because I wasn't going to use it anymore. Let's get rid of it. At least while Unity is loading. These are just notes. I guess plant manager is the other place, maybe. Yeah, all this stuff. Actually, the debug stuff I'll keep, but this spawn plant from the plant manager's perspective is no longer a valid thing to do. Get random plant spawn box. This, I don't want to have to undo this right now because our Unity is done. Oh wait, it's complaining about that function I just cleaned up. Yes? Yeah, no, whatever, don't do that. We'll clean it up later. I was just cleaning up as a, thing to do while I was waiting for Unity to import. All right, we recompile. We're good. We want to just load the game, make sure nothing is funky and weird as a result of adding that backend. Yeah, this first compile takes quite a while. Not too bad, less than I expected. We got our stuff spawning. We got 2 different variations of stuff. Yeah, this looks good. Although this really like super exacerbates the problem. This spawn logic is gonna have to be a lot smarter. The fact that I think it also is probably worthwhile for me to take the time to just slightly modify this asset to have something that looks nice as a 1x(n) instead of everything need to be at least 2 tall. I think having things be like 2 tall is probably fine, and 3 tall in the other variation. That's fine for like the later stuff, but I think, or maybe we should go the other way. Maybe platforms should get smaller over time. I don't know. It's future stuff. Let's not worry about it right now. Let's see if we can add our little spawn animation. So we go out of scripts, we go into graphics, go into materials, create a shader, an unlit shader graph. We're going to call this like platform swipe in. Okay. Let's see if I can reacquaint myself with this quickly. The current render pipeline, oh, yeah, I'm gonna have to change the render pipeline. I guess that, it's on the game settings? Project settings? Graphics? Scriptable render pipeline? Do I need to, yeah, I need to make a graphics, create. I know you have to make like an object that like represents the render pipeline. but I don't remember exactly where you do that. No, not legacy. It's not material. Do I even need? Can I just? Is there any way to? Do I even need to go into shaders? Is there a like a crop? That's all I want to do. I guess the true thing I'm supposed to do is just this. Um, um, yeah, I'm pretty sure I need to create a render pipeline asset, but I don't remember how to do that, so let's check. Um, actually, do I need a? Let me see what error this is exactly giving me. Just plug it in. Because I'm pretty sure I need to change a product setting somewhere to basically, like just it does like the setup, but I don't know exactly what its name is. I think maybe not build settings. It would be, oh, here it is. Is this why you just generate this? I do think there is just some global Unity setting that needs to be changed to tell it like, hey, I want to use this stuff. That's not what I needed. This is, so graphics. I don't know, do I need a, yeah, I think I actually do need to make this. Graphics, maybe? Do I need, I think I actually need another package. Like LWRP? Lightweight render pipeline? Or do I switch to that somewhere? Oh, does it not know abbreviation? Lightweight? Another package install though. I'm gonna have to spend another URP that random guy crafts. Universal render pipeline? Is that what I need instead? Well, I have unfortunately hit install on lightweight render pipeline. So if I actually need universal, then I guess while this is installing, let me see if I can understand the difference. Might as well. Oh, yeah. Unfortunate. It's just a straight deprecation. wish I could cancel this, but it's gotta do importing forever. But thanks for the note there. I appreciate it. Yeah, I did a game with lights in Unity a while ago. I just haven't touched it ever since I've been using pixel art because you know, it's what you can find nice resource packs of. Um, there's good for support for it and stuff. Unfortunately, I am no artist. I have to. I mean, I say I have to rely on, but like, it should be. I'm very fortunate to be able to rely on the asset packs of. I think the Vexed is the name of the artist who made this line asset pack. I used it in one other game on my itch. And also Kenny, of course. I use Kenny fonts and everything, and a couple different games I use Kenny assets. Yeah, definitely hallelujah for those people selflessly just creating free stuff for the internet. Ugh, I wish I could cancel this. I don't really want to like close my entire Unity because it'll probably take forever to load up anyway. I guess I can go back to cleaning up code. World Manager doesn't need to spawn plants anymore. Spawn plant batch, none of this. Finish, it's like setting up invokes, none of this. The world, I think one by one we want to move like sort of these collections of components where there's animals, there's plants, there's wind, and the platform crumbling. All of that, I think, except maybe the wind. I don't know if wind. I don't know if wind on the platforms makes sense. Maybe wind can stay on the world, but animal spawning and like platforms crumbling and stuff should be moved to the platform. I think we want to move everything out of this world manager that makes sense too. And plan is the first. There any other? Yeah, this plant list, don't need it anymore. These plant properties, get rid of them. See if that spawns any errors. So tell me other stuff I need to clean up. I don't see any, but it might just be because Unity is busy, it can't recompile. Let's take a look at, I'm pretty sure there's something else I just threw away in here. Some multi-jump stuff. Oh yeah, there's some, ooh, yeah, there's some commented out stuff in here from the great getting very stuck on physics of last week. I can clean this up a little bit. I can grab, I wonder if I can get delta times squared automatically. Square? No, I don't think so. I'll grab it. Fixed delta times squared is this amount. As I get further from this, it increases the odds that I don't remember what I was doing. So let's annotate this now while it's still somewhat fresh. While we're waiting for package management in Unity anyway. So store prep, no, we're not storing previous velocity anymore. See, like, I don't want wrong comments in here. It's just gonna confuse me when I no longer remember. Oops. Okay. You good? It's got now the LRP, but that's not what I actually want. Oh wait. It just did it for me behind the scenes, it looks like. It just got the universal RP anyway. Anyway, let's just add it. So convert force to velocity. Force to accel to velocity. If new velocity would be beyond max, reduce to max. And this here is convert velocity to accel to force to like impulse, basically, right? That's this last. The velocity divided by fixed is acceleration. Acceleration times mass is force. And then this division again is like the force at this moment, not the overall force. Anyway. Oh yeah. Yeah, maybe. I'm glad I don't have to wait again, that's for sure. Alright, but with that, I now should be able to like create like a rendering. Yeah, I'm always hesitant to click on anything that says experimental. Like, I really just want this to make this happy so I can mess around with my shader graph. And this isn't, I'm not like, you know, deeply setting up the graphics at this point. This is just sort of like a first foray into making it look slightly nicer. So we go back to our project settings, I think, and now we actually have a pipeline asset to point it at. Is there anything in here that's worrying? I don't think so. There might be some stuff to change later. But let's double check our game still renders fine. And compiles. I was messing around with code. You never know when something you thought was a cleanup actually was necessary. It's squashed, but I think that's just the game window. Yeah, this looks fine. I think this looks exactly as before. All right. So now we can mess around with this. Hopefully. So I guess we could just maybe do a multiply by alpha, like set alpha equal to RT, and then do this alpha clip threshold, and then that'll kind of give us the swipe clip thing we want. Either way, this is gonna need a vector 1, which we could call, it's basically T, right? But T is such a bad name. Progress or timer, I guess. I mean, what is timer, but T is a word. So clamp just 0, 1 is important. So just so I don't have to potentially deal with it being out of a reasonable range. So we have a timer. We're gonna, over on our like C# side, we'll have we'll send up like a t value for our timer that as we spawn, like for the first few seconds as we spawn, we'll go from 0 to 1. Then beyond that, it'll just always be 1. It'll always just show everything. So let's just assume that's coming in. Then we basically care about like UV. Can I get UV as an input? Sampler state? No. Vertex position, object space versus. I guess like it's kind of like object space though what I want, but is it going to be normalized object space? Basically I want to know how left or right I am in. I want to know how left or right not that. I want to know how left or right I am in oops. Within the texture, and I think this is roughly what I want. Right, a UV input where green is Y. Yeah, this makes sense. So red Y, yeah, 0 to 1, which is what we want. We want it to go from like left to right, top to bottom. Great. So we have our timer. We're going to clamp our timer from 0 to 1. We have a UV channel. It's just like another piece of input about our sprite. And what I want to do is just compare them, I guess. It's like a step function, kind of. Range? No, none of these are what am I looking for? Interpolation? Smooth? No, no, no. Major range, round trigonometry. I guess it is, yeah, step. I need another piece of math, I think. Isn't there like, can I compare? I don't know if step is actually what I want. Basically what I want, I just want to say if uv.x is greater than the interpolation input, then it's like have an alpha of 1, otherwise have an alpha of 0. Maybe branch. I think there's a better way to do this than branch, like a mathier way, but I'm running short on time. Does the dot product, can I just get this with the dot product? Right, because that's the extent to which vectors are pointing in the same direction. Can I, if I treat it as the dot product of, if I just like take like x times x, so just multiplication, is that right? No, that wouldn't give me stepwise. Lerp is like the input basically, right? What was that under interpolation? Let me see. Not vertex scanning. It's like No. Utility. Maybe. Absolute exponential length log module, negate, normalize. Round. Maybe. Yeah, I guess I need to understand how is, like, what are the step node? Step seems like mathematically what I want to do. Okay, per component returns one if the value of input is greater than or equal to edge. Perfect, yes, this is exactly what I want. So if input, which is going to be our, I have to get the component. Channel, right? Split. If the input is greater than or equal to edge, so if our input is greater than or equal to this clamped timer, that should just feed into the alpha value of our master shader, I think. I think this is what I want. So now I just need to figure how am I setting this property. And then just as I am spawning in, I guess platform spawner, after they spawn, I want to like, oh, it's just getting the material and setting a property? Cool stuff. So let's see if we can set up the plumbing for that. So we have to go to our prefab, our boy here. And his tile map renderer needs to use this. Did I make? I guess I have to make a material that has the shader graph. Right? Yeah. And I guess it's pink because like albedo. Do I need to step through the object albedo? We'll deal with it when we get there. Not sprites, not graphics, prefabs, platform, tile map 2. Set of sprites default. Use platform swipe. And then, oh wait, did I do this right? I think this should, in needs to be greater than edge, which is the opposite of what we want. Unless edge is counting down from 1 to 0, which I could do. But as a little confirmation here that I'm understanding everything correctly and checking if things are set up properly. Ooh, that did not spawn. So it didn't spawn because we're not setting up any timer, so the timer is 0. And then in should be greater than edge. But I guess if I'm never setting it, who knows what this is? It might not be 0. So let's actually set it. So spawn platform is here, instantiate is here. Let's grab our platform. This needs to tile maps. Grab our tile map renderer. And then set float. Can I do it by name? Awesome, yeah. Maybe 0.5 just to start. One day this will load. I'm getting the other variants. Oh wait, it's pink. But is it respecting the 0.5? I don't think so. Let me just look in the scene view. If I grab this, it should let me look at it, right? No, I guess not. Oh, do I need to save? Oh, it looks like at least some of that being weird was just I never hit save asset. But I don't think it was doing the swiping I wanted it to. Let's get some more platform spawning with that save now and see if it looks different. Yeah, it's still gray. So let's grab our boy here. Oh, whoops, I accidentally stopped debugging. Restart. Interesting. Some are coming through invisible and some aren't. Let's take a look. What's going on with you? Oh, that is something else. Those are my particles. See if I can grab one of these. There's so much overlap stuff, it's annoying to grab the specific one I want. All right. Color looks good. Tile map renderer. Can I see a debug version of this? And then if I look at this will give me the actual graph. Oh yes, it does. So I think I actually need to pipe through. It's not going to automatically pipe through color for me. It just, and it's not like claiming to. It's just this gray color is the color. So yeah, I need to pipe through like the sprite. So how do I just get? I just need like the basic. No, I think QMap. I don't need I guess a sample texture 2D is what I need. Then do I have to make this as a texture? And then, yeah, I don't. I can use my basic platform sprite for now to just like hard code this in, but I am gonna have to figure out at a future time how I want to reference, the tile map texture. I'm not sure how exactly to get that out. Well, this certainly is not saying that. Oh, wait. Is this just another not saving asset and not seeing the results? No, still coming through empty. All right. Damn, that's such a bummer. I would have loved to get a simple version of that going, but unfortunately, I got work tomorrow. I gotta wrap it up so I can wrap my night up. Yeah, this will probably be what I work on next time though, and I will stream that. We're gonna get that swipe in. We might also do the more complicated map version that I explained here, where basically if we have a map that travels along the line of like an increasing color value, we could read that map instead of just like a random timer, and instead of being a horizontal swipe, it would actually follow sort of the contours of the asset and hopefully look cool as it's like incrementally draws itself in like a growing vine type deal. Um, but yeah, that is gonna be it for me for tonight. Cause unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, because I have to get up at work tomorrow. Thanks for stopping by and watching the stream. Catch me. I guess I've been doing Wednesdays, but I think I'm gonna go Tuesday next week and Tuesdays from now on. So Tuesday nights, at least once a week, I will always stream around 6:30 Pacific. But I am gonna try and get some like Saturday. I'm trying to get some additional streams in. Um, yeah, I just want to be spending more time working on Gamedev. Uh, so yeah, thanks for tuning in. You can follow me on Twitter. It's just at QuietBenchZen. I put the VODs up since I'm like a pretty small Twitch. The VODs get pretty quickly deleted, so I put them up on YouTube. QuietBenchZen. The hope is a long term, maybe like a couple more weeks of this, I'll have a pretty nice game at the end. I can make like a nice montage seeing it grow over time. I think that'd be pretty cool. Um, so yeah, I guess that's it for me. Thanks for tuning in. Check me out on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, or itch.io. QuietBenchZen on everything. And hopefully see you next time.